You hire Marc Bergevin, you get the things that Marc Bergevin comes with, which are bad trades and bad signings.
Oh, I thought you were going to say custom-made suit jackets.
You just got
Giant
out from
arms.
Yeah, you just got out from the Pierre-Luc Dubois contract, so why not ruin it by signing 2 other bad ones? We'll get to that in a second, but first, remember, it's brought to you by, this is SDPN Free Agency, and it's brought to you by 888 Canada. What can you guys tell me about 888 Canada? Because you have a personal relationship.
I'm just trying to pretend like I didn't just strain my booby muscles.
You did?
They got a lot of fun content on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's fun because it features myself, Steve Dangle, and Ashley Docking.
Here's what
And I did great.
Here's what the LA Kings have excited their fans with.
Okay.
They lost Victor Arvidsson.
And
They got rid of PLD.
PLD gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Victor
that's fun.
Arvidsson to Edmonton. That sucks.
I like it for Edmonton.
Yeah, I like
We'll
it for
talk about that
Edmonton,
later.
And then there was one more guy. Who was that? It was PLD. It was Arvidsson, and I had the other guys at the tip
What?
of my tongue.
The ones we're talking about coming
Who
in?
left? Who left?
Oh, who left?
yeah, I
don't
forgot.
know
It
what
doesn't
you're
matter.
thinking
Here's what you got. Warren Foegele.
Doesn't Matt Roy.
Warren Foegele. Oh, Matt Roy.
Matt
was the other
Roy.
one. Yeah. Warren Foegele, $3.5 million. He's 28 years old for the next 3 years. Played well for Edmonton in the playoffs, but that's a depth guy. Tanner Jeannot, who did not play well for the Lightning, but is big and mean. And
Reclamation project.
your big defensive move, signing Joel Edmundson from the Toronto Maple Leafs for $3.85 million for the next 4 years. If you remember, Bergevin had him in Montreal. And these are Bergevin players. Tanner Jeannot is big and Josh Anderson-y.
Yeah. They're going to try to win games by beating the crap out of you.
Yeah. This is not a team that's getting through Edmonton. This is not a team that's getting through Vegas. This is not a team that's getting through Dallas. And this is not a team that's getting through Colorado. As
about
it
Nashville?
stands right now. And absolutely not against
List some
Nashville.
more teams.
Vancouver? I don't think so.
What about
St.
Anaheim?
Louis, if they were to make it.
St.
San
Louis,
Jose?
Maybe.
Yeah, San Jose, if they make the playoffs, I think that LA's got a good chance. Hershey.
No one was able to beat
Coachella Valley.
Coachella Valley, Lehigh Valley. All the valleys.
Okay.
I don't know. Listen, I'm saying
Florida Everblades.
I'm trying to figure out how this
Answer my
LA
question.
Kings team that looked so good 2 years ago, looked so promising last year, did this. Remember, to get Pierre-Luc Dubois, they didn't just have to trade Velarde and Iafallo. They also had to trade Sean Durzi. And it's now, like, look at what Durzi's been able to parlay his success in Arizona into. He was actually a guy that went to Arizona and got better. That never happens. That's talent. And now he gets to play with Sergachev and Marino, and he's got a $6 million deal.
Yeah, but it's because he came on Agent Provocateur.
Well, obviously,
the only reason.
that had to be the part of it. But I'm looking at the LA Kings, and I'm going, okay, Tanner Jeannot, I think, just wasn't a fit in Tampa, and that's fine, and it happens. They move on from that. If he's able to find some of the form he had in Nashville, what is Tanner Jeannot at his best?
Oh, Tanner Jeannot at his best is one of the most violent, chaotic players in the NHL who can also put in 20-plus goals.
That's great.
He had like 40 points or something as a rookie while leading the league in hits and middle fingers and just hatred.
And
he led the league in hatred.
Here's the issue in that. And you're right on all those counts. This is not the issue is not with you, Steve. Since that 24-goal rookie campaign, he has 13 goals.
You just did the math in your head. I saw
Yes.
it.
He has 13 goals in the last 2 seasons.
That's not great.
What
Not great.
happened?
Not now. Tampa's very deep. John Cooper and Tanner Jeannot didn't mesh. So if he gets back to that, okay, great. He's going to get a lot more ice time in LA. We know that. So we're trying to look at the good and the bad here. Tanner Jeannot, I think of all of these guys, to me, I'm like, I'm the least worried about him. He's a young guy, plenty of time to sort it out, needed a new situation.
Because the Kings paid to get him.
They sure did.
This was not a Tampa tying something to him and dumping him. They actually recouped assets for this player.
Right. Yeah.
So there's still value to him in this league. Like,
well, because he's young and he's huge and he scored 24 goals once.
this is the thing. Like, we get tied up in cap hits with players, and we get tied up in the cost. Tampa was never going to make that trade worth it unless they won the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And they actually haven't won a round
Right.
since making that Tanner Jeannot trade. They put themselves in an impossible position. They also, like, that Blake Coleman deal would have stunk.
Yes.
but they won 2 cups.
Yes.
The Barclay Goodrow deal would have stunk even worse, but they won 2 Stanley Cups, and no one cares. Those are 2 guys with over 90 playoff games played each. With Jeannot, I think there's still value there. There's still a good NHL career ahead of him, but you have to salvage it. It makes a lot more sense having him on your 3rd or 4th line than $8.5 million Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Where I struggle with the Kings is I say, and I'm always been high on the Kings. I thought they were building something really special the last couple of years, and that winning streak during this regular season was really impressive. And then they kind of dipped back below. But what happened last year in the playoffs is we saw the roster they had was not good enough. It wasn't good enough to beat the Edmonton Oilers, who eventually went to the Stanley Cup final. And I look at the team so far, and like there's plenty of off season left. There's plenty of time till game number 1. But I don't say that they got any better than what they finished that Edmonton series with, the guys on the ice. So I'm like a little just disappointed overall in the Kings, because I say you needed to improve on what you had because it wasn't good enough, and what you've done hasn't really improved your team. So I can't really sit here and be like, I have more confidence in the Kings because I don't think they've gotten any better.
Part of their strategy has to be to get better from within. So like a guy like Quentin Byfield takes a huge step.
I look at 2, Jordan Spence and Brant Clark.
Jordan Spence, Brant Clark, Turcotte's been
just re-signed.
He re-signed, but he's been a disappointment, right? Like that, he was like a 4th, 5th overall pick, 6th overall pick. Top 10. You need your young players to take.
There's also Alex Lafreniere. I'm kidding. It's Lafreniere.
You're right. And you know what?
It's Laferriere. I'm just joking.
Some people were making fun of the Kemper thing, getting Kemper. I mean, you unloaded PLD to do it, so it's good. Also, a tandem of Kemper, who the Kings are familiar with, and he played good hockey there. Kemper and Talbot, who was an all-star for you. Like, I think people are a little too down on that. That's a decent team.
No. Talbot's in Detroit. Their backup goalie's Rittich.
Yeah, they've got Big Save Dave and Darcy Kemper.
Talbot just signed in Detroit.
You're right, my bad. I thought
Detroit has 5 goalies right now.
That makes no damn sense.
Yzerman,
my bad. I thought he re-signed. It's been a long time.
No, Yzerman's got Alex Lyon, Ville Husso, Jack Campbell, and a Cam Talbot. So,
Jack Campbell is like, yeah, I'll be your 4th goalie.
Right.
What happened?
I think Ville Husso's getting traded is what's happening.
We'll see. But we're talking about the Kings here.
To the Kings.
So, Steve.
By the end of this video, it is my promise to you.
Now that you know the actual tandem.
It's Kemper Riddick?
Are you happy with Kemper Riddick?
No.
And a defense corps that just lost Matt Roy as well.
They do have a goalie in the minors who I think is ready to play some NHL games. I forget his name. Jesse, can you
Eric Portillo?
Yeah, that might be him. That's the
only goalie they have in the minors.
Oh, dear. Yeah, no. Okay, scratch that. I thought they had Talbot too.
Also, remember to get rid of the the Cal Peterson contract that they had to take on $2 million of Ivan Provorov's deal, so they retain on him $2 million this year.
And Gavrikov, don't you mean?
Nope, Provorov. Gavrikov plays for them. Provorov does not.
Yeah, Ivan Provorov's $2 million.
He was traded through. Remember, it was a 3-way deal.
Oh,
Columbus and
you guys are teaching me so much about the Kings.
I know you get. And they still pay Mike Richards $700,000 a year.
Oh my God!
Forever and ever and on.
And they should be paying him more.
I know. It's crazy. So then let's talk about the defense, because Kemper obviously knew.
But he's got Talbot with him,
right? But they bring in Joel Edmundson. We saw him in Toronto.
He's fine.
He's fine. I got to tell you, though, I'm looking at this blue line and I'm thinking, okay, they need guys like him who can put carbon into your back, right?
He's making nearly $4 million.
But he's making $4 million to do it. And that to me, this is such a Bergevin signing. It's not even funny.
When you said I'm looking at the decor, when you look at it, it doesn't inspire a decor that can go 4 rounds.
No, it doesn't.
And right now, that's got to be the goal for Rob Blake, because he's been building towards, hey, we had our little dip, and after our championship and everything, and I come in and I'm going to build up a good team, and we made the playoffs a couple years, and we got eliminated in the first round, but now we got to build on that. You got to keep going forward, and it doesn't feel like they've pushed the team forward at all.
Here's a question.
I'm disappointed in Rob Blake. He hasn't been a great GM lately.
No, he has not at all. What is the more cost-effective thing to do in the National Hockey League? Make your team better or make the teams around you worse? Making your team better, I think, costs a lot of money and a lot of resources and drafting and all that stuff and convincing people to sign with you in free agency. Making other teams worse is as simple as bringing in a cross-check specialist. That is the thing Joel Edmundson is the best at. One of the best guys in the league. You know what? Trade for Ben Sherratt too. Get them all. Collect them all. Run back 2021, Mark.
Infinity Stones. Let's go.
Why not? Why not? I hope the Leafs get transferred to the Pacific Division too.
The thing is that LA does have a lot of puck movers throughout the lineup. They got Doughty. They got Mikey Anderson. They've got Spence. They've got Clark. They've got guys that can move the puck. Edmonton fills a need. I just think it's an expensive one. And I think, being a Leaf fan and people are like, I can't believe how much we're paying OEL. Edmonton's making more than Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I think that on the same amount of term. Both of them got 4-year deals.
Well, isn't that incredible?
That when you put that comparison in the cold light of day, that's not great,
dude.
Man.
You win a cup, like you're just set forever. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yeah.
Like Ekman-Larsson got his. Edmondson does have one and a couple trips to the final. Listen, having Edmondson is not the worst idea. Like he can insulate some of those younger defensemen you were talking about. Someone goes hard into the corner, you can make it so that their ribs are facing the wrong direction, and they think about it twice the next time. But nearly $4 million with term.
Yeah,
oof, Maroon.
Rough.
Yeah.
So, all right, can I just give you guys one thing on Rob Blake?
Yeah, do it.
Trades that I look at and I say, that's not great since 2022.
It was a new segment called Blaking. No, I was going to say Blaking the Bank, but Blake on Blake.
There you go.
Blake
you got it.
V. Blake.
Trading away a first-round pick and Brock Faber to Minnesota for Kevin Fiala. That is a thing that Rob Blake did.
So
Let's move on.
Jersey, Faber, Roy.
Let me go through.
I did not know that.
In March of 2023.
I'm learning so much about the Kings.
When Rob Blake decided to dump Jonathan Quick on Columbus, he sent a first-round pick plus a third-round pick so that Columbus would do the deal. In return, he got Gavrikov, who's still on the team. But then in that deal, he got Korpisalo, who's no longer with the team.
Of course not.
So you lose that first-round pick. Plus, Quick was very useful for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes,
for the moment.
And Korpisalo hasn't been useful since.
And then we get to the PLD deal, obviously. We have the Cal Peterson deal where he's still retaining on Provorov that Adam mentioned. Then we get Sean Dursey moved to the Coyotes for a second-round pick. Then
a power play, offensive power play man. You moved him for a second-round pick.
Not great.
He was never getting his power play time in LA behind those guys, but seriously.
And then lastly, the Tanner Jeannot one that just happened. I'm not the biggest fan of it. You send a second and a fourth for Tanner Jeannot, who is a rental. He's a UFA after this year.
I'm going to need you to look up when Mark Bergevin got hired. And I'm going to need you to tell me right away.
You know when
I'm going to need you to tell me right away.
Don't forget about the Dubois stuff. By the way, make no mistake, these are Bergevin signings.
No, but it's Rob Blake's job as the GM, so he's listening
to
Bergevin, right?
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
Let's not do the Leaf thing where all the bad stuff is Mark Hunter and all the good stuff is Dubas, which we can now confidently say is probably not true.
No, I understand that, and I'm not trying to do that. I think that's unfair.
No,
I think that ultimately the responsibility rests on Rob Blake for listening to him.
Yes. And with
this guy has a bad track record. He has a bad track record. Mark Bergevin has a bad track record. He hired a bad coach. He got lucky in the bubble. He got lucky in the All Canada season. He really did. The Montreal Canadiens got lucky. They got the last juice out of Carey Price. They got the last juice out of Shea Weber.
Like literally.
Literally, they never played again.
Yeah.
He fired the coach that he had hired 3 months into the season and then resigned. And then he goes to LA, who are on the upswing. What immediately happens?
January 2022.
Yeah, exactly. Things were going pretty well before that, weren't they?
Oh, when you put it like
that. January 9th, to be specific. Yikes. Haven't been a fan of his moves lately. I thought the Kings were trending in the right direction, and it has just been a flat line
now.
But he's yoked like a carton of eggs.
That's right. Now they got $12 million still to spend. So they can still get some things done. There's still time for this to change. But as it stands right now, as of this recording, 3:47 p.m. on July 1st, Canada Day.
It is Canada Day.
It's Canada Day. And I would say not great. Not great by a former Canadiens GM. Haha.
Hey, whoa.
All right. So are we wrapping on the
You
Kings?
gotta do your thing.
Oh, well.
You
I just want to say that
there you go.
STPN Free Agency is brought to you by 888 Canada.